In the remote village of Eldridge, nestled deep within the dense, ominous woods, there existed a chilling legend that whispered through the twisted branches and echoed in the howling winds. Locals spoke in hushed tones of a malevolent beast known as the Shadow Stalker, a creature that emerged only under the cloak of the moonless night. The tale began centuries ago when the village was founded on the edge of an ancient, cursed forest. Eldridge's founding families had made a pact with the spirits of the woods, promising to appease them with offerings each year. However, as time passed and memories faded, the rituals were neglected, and the village fell into a false sense of security. One fateful evening, a thick fog slithered into Eldridge, shrouding the village in an eerie silence. The air grew heavy, and the temperature plummeted as the moon vanished behind a thick blanket of clouds. Whispers spread like wildfire through the narrow cobblestone streets, warning of the impending doom that lurked in the shadows. As the last ember of the village bonfire flickered out, an otherworldly growl echoed through the chilling air. The villagers huddled in their homes, their faces pale with terror. The Shadow Stalker emerged from the inky blackness, its eyes glowing like malevolent orbs, and its enormous gnarled form blending seamlessly with the night. The creature's presence was suffocating, as if the very darkness itself had come to life. It moved with unnatural speed, slipping through the alleys and streets like a phantom, leaving only a trail of spine-chilling whispers in its wake. The unlucky few who caught a glimpse of its grotesque figure spoke of a creature with elongated limbs, razor-sharp claws, and a maw filled with rows of gleaming, needle-like teeth. The villagers, gripped by fear, realized that the time had come to face the consequences of their forgotten promises. In desperation, they gathered what remnants of offerings they could find: a tattered blanket, a rusted dagger, and a handful of wilted flowers. With trembling hands, they ventured into the heart of the cursed forest, guided by the haunting echoes of the Shadow Stalker. As the villagers approached an ancient, gnarled tree at the forest's center, the air became electric with a malevolent energy. Suddenly, the Shadow Stalker materialized before them, its eyes gleaming with hunger. The makeshift offerings were placed at the creature's feet, and for a moment, the forest fell silent. But as the first light of dawn broke through the thick canopy, the villagers discovered that the Shadow Stalker had not vanished entirely. Its spectral presence lingered, a constant reminder of the price paid for neglecting the ancient pact. Eldridge, forever marked by the curse, became a haunted village, with the legend of the Shadow Stalker serving as a dire warning to all who dared to forget the promises made to the unseen forces that dwelled in the heart of the forbidding woods. In the quiet town of Ravenshade, there lived a young boy named Caleb. He was an imaginative child, often lost in the world of his own creations. But as the sun dipped below the horizon and the shadows grew longer, Caleb's innocent fantasies took a sinister turn. Every night, as Caleb lay in bed, his room transformed into a realm of uncertainty. The dim glow of the nightlight cast eerie shapes across the walls, and the creaking of the old house seemed to echo through the stillness of the night. It was during these hours that Caleb's imagination played tricks on him, conjuring up the fear that something lurked beneath his bed. Caleb had always dismissed such fears as childish, but one night the unsettling sensation became too strong to ignore. As he lay there clutching his blankets, he heard a soft, rhythmic breathing, a sound that seemed out of place in the quiet room. His eyes widened in terror as he realized the source was not his own breath, but something else, something unseen. Summoning his courage, Caleb peered over the edge of his bed, and his heart skipped a beat. Two small, glowing eyes stared back at him from the darkness under the bed. They glowed with an otherworldly intensity, and the creature beneath emitted a low, guttural growl that sent shivers down Caleb's spine. Frozen in fear, Caleb couldn't look away as a long, gnarled hand with elongated fingers crept out from under the bed, inching toward him. The creature's form began to materialize, a twisted, shadowy figure that seemed to be a grotesque blend of nightmares. It spoke in a whisper, a voice that slithered through Caleb's mind like a serpent. "Come closer, Caleb," it murmured, its voice dripping with malice. "I've been waiting for you." Terrified, Caleb recoiled, scrambling to the farthest corner of his bed. The room seemed to close in around him as the creature continued its sinister invitation. It spoke of a world beneath the bed, a realm where nightmares thrived and fed on the fears of children. As the creature reached its elongated fingers toward Caleb, the boy mustered all his strength and let out a scream that pierced the silence of the night. The door burst open, and Caleb's parents rushed in, flooding the room with light. The creature, unable to withstand the brightness, hissed and retreated back into the shadows beneath the bed. Caleb's parents comforted him, assuring him that it was just a bad dream. However, as they left the room, Caleb couldn't shake the feeling that the creature still lurked beneath, bidding its time until the next nightfall when the shadows would once again come alive, and the whispers from under the bed would resume their haunting melody. Deep in the heart of the desolate Nevada desert stood the abandoned Black Ridge Nuclear Station, a place shrouded in a chilling history. The air was thick with an unsettling silence, broken only by the occasional gusts of wind that carried whispers of the past. Decades ago, the station was a hub of scientific achievement, pushing the boundaries of nuclear power. However, a catastrophic accident occurred, leaving the facility contaminated and its halls echoing with the anguished cries of those who perished. The incident was swept under the rug, hidden from the public eye, and the once thriving complex was left to decay. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the rusted metal structures and crumbling concrete, the spirits of the forsaken scientists and workers began to stir. The ghostly remnants of the nuclear disaster wandered through the decaying hallways, their translucent forms flickering in and out of existence. Visitors brave enough to approach the station reported strange phenomena: unexplained footsteps echoing in empty corridors, ghostly apparitions flickering in and out of view, and the distant hum of machinery long since silenced. The air carried a palpable sense of dread, as if the very atoms that had once powered the facility were now charged with an otherworldly energy. One by one, curious individuals dared to enter the haunted nuclear station, drawn by the irresistible lure of the unknown. They ventured into the heart of the crumbling control room, where the ominous glow of malfunctioning control panels illuminated the ghostly figures of the past. Each step seemed to disturb the spirits, awakening the dormant horrors that lurked within. A spectral figure, clad in the tattered remnants of a lab coat, materialized before the intruders. Its hollow eyes bore into their souls, and a mournful wail echoed through the desolate chambers. The air grew thick with an invisible force, suffocating those who dared to trespass on the spectral realm of Blackridge. The apparitions manifested with increasing intensity, their tortured forms seeking solace or revenge for the tragedy that had befallen them. Shadows danced along the walls, taking on ghastly shapes that twisted and contorted in the dim light. Unearthly whispers filled the air, recounting the events leading to the nuclear catastrophe and the subsequent cover-up. Those who entered the haunted nuclear station seldom left unscathed. Some were driven to madness by the incessant voices that echoed in their minds, while others claimed to have glimpsed the glowing eyes of the forsaken scientists in the depths of the abandoned reactor room. As night fell over the Nevada desert, the Black Ridge nuclear station remained a ghostly monument to humanity's insatiable thirst for power and the haunting consequences that lingered in the shadows of its forsaken halls. The spirits trapped within continued to yearn for release, their spectral forms eternally bound to the decaying remnants of a once proud testament to scientific ambition gone awry.